Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo. I'd like to put my hand in the air and say that I, Tony Mo, am a Rocket League addict. I have joined the many in understanding the addiction that is indeed Rocket League. Now I have to say I was very pensive at first, but I watched a lot of gameplay. I've heard a lot about the game, just a lot of people speaking really positively about Rocket League. The sales have been exceptional. It's been blowing up on both the PlayStation 4 and the PC. There are already esports leagues forming for Rocket League. That kind of, was a real big slap in the face to me. Hey Tony, you should check this game out. It's probably doing something pretty special when you start to see these sales numbers and when you start to hear about things like professional Rocket League only a month after launch. Something wonderful was going on, and I thought it was about damn time, I know I'm late to the game, that I checked out Rocket League and saw what all the fuss was about. And I was most definitely rewarded for doing so. Rocket League is one of the best games that I have played all year. And I think that that is completely insane that I'm saying that about a game that is essentially RC cars playing soccer. But obviously there's a lot more to Rocket League that makes this game as special as it is. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about why I stayed up till 3 in the morning last night playing Rocket League. As soon as I picked it up, the addiction, it came quick. I don't know of many other drugs out there that really grab on to a person and hook them in as quickly. I would say the next closest thing would have to be like cocaine or heroin. Luckily, Rocket League is a lot healthier for you, and I can imagine that there's actually a lot of cognitive ability, how do you want to say this, benefits from playing a game like Rocket League. So it's definitely better than cocaine, and it's definitely better than heroin. So now that we've gone completely off topic, let's talk about Rocket League, right? I think there's a lot at the core design of Rocket League to be, really impressed with. The game looks beautiful. It is a stunning game. In fact, I am so impressed with just how beautiful it is. There's detail where you didn't really think there needed to be detail. I mean, there's actually like fully rendered grass on the field. In the rain, water actually spits up. The cars look gorgeous, of which there are many. The backgrounds, the skyboxes in the distance outside of the league. I mean, geez, dude. That's better than some of the stuff you see in most RPGs these days. The game really is beautiful. It also has wonderful controls. Now, even though I'm playing on the PC, I am playing with the PlayStation 4 controller that is recommended by the developers. It is simply plug and play if you own a PS4 controller. You can as well use an Xbox controller. They both work, so whatever your preference is, but I definitely recommend playing it with a controller. But however, once you plug in a controller, right from the get-go, you recognize just how easy the game is to control. There is never a moment in Rocket League, I haven't had it happen once yet in the 4 hours that I've now played, where I was fighting with the controls. And I think that is a very important part of the success of Rocket League, is that you're kind of just left with the actual game. There are no bugs, there are no glitches. I understand there were some connection issues with the servers during launch. They've since been sorted. The game runs beautifully. It has a great frame rate. It is capped at 60. You can unlock it if you choose to do so, but overall the game is a true joy to play, in terms of its actual experience. The visuals, the audio, and the controls are all wonderful. But that's not really what makes Rocket League so addicting. It's definitely part of the formula, but I think the answer to why Rocket League is so addicting, why it's such an enjoyable experience, is actually a rather easy one, and it's something that most modern games don't do anymore. There's a very good reason that people are still playing Counter-Strike. It's because it's a game that rewards player skill development. So essentially, you get better at the game and you're rewarded by being able to be better at the game. I mean, it's as simple as that. You go from sucking, from not being able to quickscope or, knife or do whatever, or in this case, you go from barely being able to push the ball across the field to being able to strike it out of the sky into the goal, or perhaps pull it off an aerial save, from your previous thing, which was pretty much just pushing it around the map, hoping that it eventually got into the net. It's a really crazy concept this day and age. More often than not, modern video games reward the player with unlock systems, perks, and, goodies and cosmetic items, or weapons and guns in the case of many first-person shooters. It's very rare that the game actually looks at how the player can be rewarded for becoming better at the game. It's why, frankly, I'm so excited for the return of Halo, because to me, Halo was one of those few first-person shooters out on the console that was still rewarding players' skill and development. Rocket League does that, and it does that in heaps. There's so many ways that you can improve and so many nuances that this game has. It's wonderful. I think that Rocket League is a primary example of the definition of easy to learn, hard to master. A lot of games kind of focus on that these days, right? You know, you've got Blizzard doing like Heroes of the Storm, you know, they're doing Hearthstone, and soon they're going to be doing Overwatch. All games that focus on that concept of easy to learn, hard to master, you know, simple but surprisingly deep. You know, that sort of whole set of themes. I think Rocket League fills all of those slots. It's a game that is really easy to pick up. It has a great tutorial system. It's going to get you up and going. You're going to learn the basics. You're going to learn the advanced parts of the game. And then it gives you a really great little arena to practice all of those components. So it gives you a space to practice striking, to practice goal saving, to practice running the ball. And it gives you a little, it does reward you. It gives you XP for completing all these things. It gives you XP for every match that you complete. There are cosmetic items. There are new cars and wheels and paint jobs to unlock. But at its core, the game is rewarding because of that player's skill development. That's really what makes Rocket League click. It's why I spent all last night and all this morning completely hooked on 1v1 ranked. You know, I went from Exhibition, I started playing a little bit of 3v3, realized that that quickly was not for me. I really don't recommend 3v3 or, you know, the 4v4 mode or even the 2v2 mode if you're not going to be playing with people that you know. I could see 3v3 playing being a good place to practice goalkeeping. If you were playing alone, you could just go in there and play the goalkeeper, because I promise you that out of the like 6 matches I played a 3v3 Exhibition, no one cared about protecting the goal. I mean, the other 2 guys on my team and the 3 people on the other team were all just like, let's see how much of a clusterfuck we can make with 5 RC cars and a soccer ball in the corner of the map. That was their plan. So I was kind of like, I'm going to practice goalkeeping. So I could see how that could work. But for me, as someone who's playing the game alone, 1v1 has been the way to go. I played a little bit of Exhibition and I quickly fell into ranked because I was interested to see how they handled the matchmaking. You know, if I was actually going to be matched up with someone of, you know, an equal or similar skill level. And I have to say that I think the matchmaking in this game is like bang on. I've played about 15 ranked 1v1 matches at this point. I've only lost 3 of them, because I'm so damn good. Not really. I'm actually pretty terrible at this game compared to a lot of people, but I would say that I am better than a lot of other people who are probably pretty awful. But it was nice to know that out of all the matches that I did win, and even the ones that I lost, just about all of them were exceptionally close. I mean, that first match that you guys just saw, I scored a goal at the 1 second mark in, you know, just when the timer was about to run out, just to make it into overtime. That match, that first match I showed you, I thought it was very important that I showed that match to you guys first, because to me that was kind of the definition of how intense 1v1 Rocket League can get. And I'm sure that 3v3 and 2v2 can be the same way, but for me, I like the fact that I can play this game on a 1v1 level, a game that I didn't ever expect to enjoy on a 1v1 level. I can play competitively. I can, you know, learn from my own mistakes. I can learn from my own errors. I can improve my skills, and I can just have some really great adrenaline pumping moments. And I think that was one of the best moments that I've had in a competitive environment in a video game in an exceptionally long time. Honestly, I've just recently kind of got back into more competitive type experiences. I'm really looking forward to Halo 5. It's crazy that Rocket League, a game that I picked up on a whim last night, would deliver that experience in a way that I thought I wouldn't experience for quite some time. I mean, I was throwing my fist, there was heavy pumping of my arms. I was so into that match. It was a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of other matches like that, but that was definitely the best one that I've had in quite some time. So I think, you know, on the outside looking in, there's a lot of reasons to just say to yourself, Rocket League just looks like soccer with RC cars. What is great about that? But I think I've done a good job in this video of kind of helping you guys understand why this game is so addicting, why it's such an enjoyable experience, and frankly, why you should buy it, why you should play it on the PC. If you have a PlayStation 4, resub to PlayStation Plus or just buy the damn game. It is more than worth your time and money. In fact, this morning they just released the DLC on the PC. It was a $4 DLC pack, got you a few more cosmetic items, a couple new cars, one of which you saw in that first video, and I bought that without any hesitation. I had no issue at all further supporting Psyonix and Rocket League, because this game is incredible. It's just so odd, right? I mean, I know you guys have probably heard it from like a million other people now, but when I played the game, there was no way that I couldn't make a video to share my thoughts on it, in case there was a few people who hadn't watched anyone else's videos and you were going to stumble across mine. I really hope that Rocket League gets another sale from you, because I promise it will be one of the best experiences that you have in gaming all year long. You know, probably for several years to come. Rocket League is truly something special. I cannot recommend it enough. So what I would like to ask those of you who have been playing Rocket League is, you know, what are your thoughts in the game? How many hours have you played? Is it something that you've really been hooked on? Have you been getting better at the game? You know, what sort of improvements have you seen in your own skill level? And how have you been playing Rocket League? What's been your personal flavor? Have you been playing with a buddy? Have you been playing with a full team? Have you been running 1v1, ranked, or exhibition? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, if you have any other questions or anything else to say, let me know down there as well. And I'll see you out on the pitch. Bring your A game, right? That's what they call a soccer field. It's the pitch. Don't get the pitch all dirty with your RC car because it's raining. And we need to play some soccer with some RC cars.